and we are here. We're live. Thank you so much for the small technical difficulties. I can't speak, Ryan, but who do we have with us on the show right now?
Who do we have on the show with us right now?
Oh, it's me. It's Jason, Certified Comic Shop. Tom,
Jason,
Ryan.
You're so glad you're here. We had something really interesting happen. You reached out to me and you said that something went down and you had to get this information out to the comic fam because you were a victim of fraud in, like, specifically not just any type of fraud, comic book fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, so break it down for me in the comic fam, because this could happen to anyone. I want to know what new thing has happened, how you came out of it, and where are we now, how you can prevent this from happening if you are a collector and buying comic books off the internet. And yeah, take over, Jason. Oh, and I should always also tell the audience too, if you don't know who Jason is a awesome member of the comic community. He sells comic books. He has a podcast, Certified Comic Talk. You can follow him where?
certifiedcomic.shop/blog. Or on Instagram at Certified Comic Shop, or on Twitter at Certified Comics.
That's right. And his podcast, it features comicpreneurs, those who are buying, selling, and trading and talking about the craft and just their journey. You've had a ton of really cool members on. And yeah, let's start this off. Jason, take over. What happened? And while he talks, comic fam, we're reading the chat, but he can't see the chat just yet because we had some technical difficulties. We will read any questions you have to Jason. Just put them down in the chat. We're going to be monitoring it. Jason, let him know what's going on.
All right, so check it out, and thanks for having me on the show. But you really undersold it, Tom, and my furnace is about to kick on. So let me know if that audio, because it's like minus 97 here, so the furnace is constantly running. No, and you undersold it when you said I reached out to you a couple weeks ago. I was freaking flipping my lid reaching out to you. I'm like, I need to get the word out there. So here's what happened. So about 2 weeks ago, it dawned on me that I was expecting to receive a package of comics from my man Flip Mode Comics over on Instagram. And I'm like, man, I should have had that by now. So he had sent me the tracking number via DM. So I'm like, I'm just going to pop this into the old computer machine to see where it's at, because who doesn't like getting a box of comics? I get comics all the time. I love it when I know I'm going to get something. So I put in the tracking number into USPS.com, and right there, big red letters, said, alert, this package has been forwarded. So I was like, okay, that doesn't sound good. But, maybe there's a logical explanation. Maybe it's just a typo. Maybe when Flip Mode was printing out the label, he, spelt the street wrong or put the wrong number. But he had actually sent us, he DM'd me a screenshot of the actual label that had my name and address on it, along with the tracking number. So that was right. So then I expanded. You know how you can expand the tracking details to see it step by step on where your package is and its route? And I see that it was actually out for delivery the 2 days prior, but it had been rerouted back to the post office. And the last line on the tracking was forwarded to Sarasota, Florida.
Okay, I recall where you live. It's not there.
No, I live in Detroit, Michigan, freezing cold, not Sarasota, Florida.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, I'm like, what the fruit's going on here, right? Something's messed up. But I wasn't overly concerned, because if you deal a lot in comics, whether you're buying or selling, from time to time, things can get misscanned, right? When they're scanning stuff and tagging stuff. So I wasn't really too freaked out yet, although I was a little concerned. And plus, later in the day, I had my own books to get to the post office to drop off to get to my customers. So I'm like, I'll just ask, what's going on when I get there. So says it's forwarded to Florida, but I'm not convinced it's 100% legit yet. So I decided that also, so getting ready to leave the house, and I'm like, well, maybe I better just check the mailbox one more time just to make sure they're not in there, and there's a whole misunderstanding. But I go in there, no comics, no in the mailbox, but there was this right here from the United States Postal Service that says, if I may, Dear Jason Stum, that's me. The Postal Service has received a change of address order asking us to forward mail from the following address to the address listed below. Bum, bum, bum. At that point in time, I lost my shit. Can I say shit? Can I shit? Okay, Ryan?
Absolutely. I would say
Yes?
shit in that moment. Someone changed your address and stole comics. What? Please continue.
Well, they haven't sold comics yet. All right, but at this point, I'm in freak out mode, right? So clearly, I'm like, I'm being scammed, and so that was my first reaction when I texted you and a couple other people was, so I've been targeted. Somebody's been trying to steal my mail, but not just my mail, my comic books. And in that panic state, I was like, then I just started like beating myself up a little bit. I'm like, how could I have been so stupid? Because what do I do when I get something new and fresh in the mail? I posted on Instagram, mail call. Look at this cool new book that just came in. Look at this hot new grail. Look at whatever it is. I'm telling people via my posts on social media that I get cool shit sent to my house. I'm also not shy about what my name is. Hi, I'm Jason Stum, owner of the Certified Comic Shop. It's not a very common name. I'm a really easy person to find. Now, I've never posted my home address anywhere publicly, but you guys know, quick and easy Google search, public record search, you can pluck someone's address in a heartbeat. Okay. So I'm like, I am so dumb.
Okay, I have to
so dumb.
So you're telling me that someone hunted your name down and switched the address to steal your comics?
That's what I thought.
Okay, so what's going on?
I'm going to tell you what's going on. So I book it over the post office. I know we're getting into the next, we're already into the next last time, which I apologize for. Hopefully you're entertained with my tale of woe here.
There's because we jumped off, we actually lost a good amount of the audience, so we didn't like build it back up. So I think we're okay because there's only like 30 people on. Yeah. The majority of the members would have gone over to the next video cool. content creator that's available right now. Lord of the Long Box. If you want to go check out Lord of the Long Box, they're live right now. They're 3 minutes in. Go check them out. You're released. This video will be up later. You can always refresh. But let's keep it rolling.
Okay. So now at this point in time, I book it over the post office. And of course, long ass line, right? And I just want to run up there just like, let me talk to somebody. It's trying to steal my mail. Finally get up to somewhere and ask for help, right? And now listen, say what you want about the employees who work at the United States Postal Service. I think we've all had our issues with them from time to time. Maybe occasionally somebody tries to jam a comic into a mailbox that has no business being jammed into a mailbox. Maybe they leave a package out, in the rain and the snow when no one's going to be home for 8 hours and it gets all soggy. But the woman who helped me here, I wish I remembered her name. Superhero. Because I'm in panic trying to get it out. Somebody's stealing my shit, right? So the first thing she does is verify that it's actually me who's saying that his mail is being forwarded. Kudos to that. That makes sense. And then she goes back into the back room and she comes back and she went into the big computer machine back there and was able to print out this sheet, which I can't show you too long because of personal information on there, but it has all the details. Yeah, and this is how my shit gets stolen, right? By doing that. Because it has all the details about the change of address request that was put in. Let's edit that out. Pew, pew, pew. Okay,
it's okay.
So
we're not live. It's okay. You're fine, man.
So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So it was forwarded to an address in Ocala, Florida. And I had the address. It's right there on this paper. So I type it into my phone on the Google machine. And all the first results are from like real estate listing websites. So Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. And then I knew I was going to click on that address and find an empty house that's for sale, right? So the mail is being forwarded from my house, addressed to me, to an empty house in Florida. So right then and there, the postal worker could have been like, there you go. We did all we could. We put a stop. We reversed the mail forward, so no more your mail will be forward. But then she took it a step further. She actually called the post office down in Ocala, talked to one person, and the post office in Ocala was closed. But somebody answered the phone. She talked to the person there, told him what was going on, and he assured her to tell me that nobody's going to get my mail. And eventually, it all came back. So I want to give a big shout out to my friends at the USPS for hooking me up in my time of need. So the good news is I didn't lose any comics. The bad news, Tom and Ryan, is that I totally underestimated what was happening here. This wasn't someone trying to steal my mail and my comics. This was someone trying to steal my identity. So this is much bigger than just trying to divert somebody's mail because you think they're getting comics. But because I was expecting a box of comics and because I get a lot of comics, that was just, and in my moment of panic, that was where my mind went, is that I'd exposed so much of my personal information that I became a target for somebody to try to slyly divert, mail away from me. And so this is a newer scam that I found out. It's called, it's a change of address identity theft scam. And I wanted to still share it with you, even though it's not directly related to comics, only tangentially, because it's really easy to fall victim to it. And if I didn't have the exact right timing, some bad shit could have happened. And I'll tell you what here in just a second. So what happened is the bad guys submitted an online change of address request, which you can do right from USPS's website. So if you're moving, you want to change your address, you don't have to go in. You just go to the website. Well, in order to verify that it's actually you who's changing the address, you have to have a credit card that is either associated with your current address or the address you're moving to. So I checked all my credit cards because USPS charges you $1, and that's how they verify that it's you. So I checked all my credit cards, no charges from USPS. So that could only mean that somehow the bad guys had a credit card, which they managed to get the address listed to the forwarding address in Ocala. And so while this is a really convenient service to change your address online, there's like little protection for you if you're the one who's getting scammed here. So, and here's where they got really tricky, is that they didn't forward all the mail that comes to our house, just the mail addressed to me. So my wife would still get her mail, we'd still get junk mail, we'd still get current resident mail. So we would still be getting our mail, and then maybe I wouldn't notice that I wasn't getting my mail. And then the other part too, shows right here, it was just
It's not that.
Okay, Jason, no more doing that. Put that away.
It was just a temporary forward. So they only forwarded my mail for 4 weeks. And so the key with this identity theft scam is that they do it really sly. They just take one person's, they only do it temporarily. But the time they did it is what really counted, because if I would have caught this 2 days later, if I was not expecting that package from Flip Mode Comics, I never would have looked into this. Maybe when I got this, that would have rang a bell. But 2 days later, my W-2 was sent in the mail from work. And what does your W-2 have on it? Social security number, income, address, everything. The least secured document that should ever be sent in through the mail was going to be sent in the mail. So luckily it all worked out. But here's what I learned so you can protect yourself. But going back to what I was saying about, all the things that I put out there, mail call, Jason Stum, Michigan, all these things about me, maybe I should peel that back a little bit. I don't know if I can, though, because I love sharing comic books so much, especially new and exciting ones. But there's one thing you can do for sure that will prevent this from ever happening to you. And you guys should do it. And everyone listening should do it, or watching this should do it. You can go to the post office, and put an exception on your address that says your address can only be changed in person by you. No online, no fill out the form and return in the mail. Has to be in person, has to be verified with an ID. That's just general best practice now if you want to avoid identity theft. Something else you can do, Tom, and you do this, P.O. Box, man. P.O. Box. That way you can put your address out there, and it's really hard to steal mail from a P.O. Box, and it's really hard to forward mail from a P.O. Box. You can, but it's expensive. One other thing you can really do that's really important, just to make sure you're not falling victim to this, and that's check your mail every day. This one's really important. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus here, but just a quick story. It was a few months ago, about a year ago or so maybe, where I had posted something on Instagram. It was Sketch Cover Saturday. And I tagged a bunch of people, and I tagged this one dude. And he's like, oh, and he commented on my post. He's like, oh, man, I really want to post something, but I don't have any sketch comics. And so being the kind of guy I am, and you guys know, I'm like, well, I'm going to hook my bro up right here. So I happen to have his address because he bought something from me before. And I sent him a sketch cover. It was like a Secret Invasion number 4 or 5, something like that, sketch cover. And I wrote a little handwritten note that said, hey, next time I tag you for Sketch Cover Saturday, you better post this because you got one now. Enjoy, right? I'm feeling all good about myself, right? So I'm waiting for that, that DM to come in. There's like oh my God, you're so awesome. And it didn't come in. And then I'm like, well, maybe he's waiting to say something on Saturday and he's going to share it on Sketch Cover Saturday. Saturday rolls around, nothing. Don't hear anything from this loser. Another Saturday rolls by, nothing. Another Saturday, nothing. It was like, you know what? I forget about this guy. I'm never doing anything nice for him again. That jerk. So 3 months go by. I've forgotten all about it. He finally DMs me. It's like, oh my God, I just got your comic. And the dude hadn't checked his mail for 3 months. It had been sitting in his mailbox for 3 months. Now, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus here, but always check your mail. And this guy's name,
that's crazy.
Just happens to it rhymes. I'm not saying who it is. It rhymes with Wire by Brian. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my goodness.
I was going to say, this story sounds very familiar.
Check your mail every day.
It's been like a week at least.
That's amazing. So this is I really appreciate you coming on to share this story because, well, for one, I think it's super interesting. Like, I get bills in the mail. I get all kinds of stuff, all kinds of important stuff. And I actually really don't like checking the mail because typically when you get something in the mail from a company, it's not something you actually want. Whether it be, it could be bills or it could be something you're like, I have to deal with this now. So I try to always like procrastinate and stuff. But when it comes to comic books, I'm like, if I miss a CGC drop off, even if I'm not going to do anything with those comics, even if I already know the grade of those comics, if I miss it and I know I have to wait one extra day, even though I had to wait 4 months, that one day is the hardest day of my life. Like I'm just, can I drive and just go and like meet the USPS postman? Like what can I do to get my package right now? Cause I'm so impatient. So I find it interesting in the community that angst that we get in waiting for our comics, but it also keeps us vigilant because something's wrong as soon as a little too much time passes. You gotta keep an eye out. So I appreciate you sharing the story because this can happen to anyone. We're all going online. A lot of our live show, we were just talking about John's Comics for Kids and how many new members of the community are going online, doing videos, sharing their comic hauls. Please, if you don't have a PO box, if you're getting stuff mailed to your house, be careful. Don't show that kind of stuff on the internet. Do what you can to protect yourself. And then at the same time, go that extra mile. This is a really good word of advice here. You can set it up to do it in person. If someone's going to change your address, why not ensure that it's you if it takes 10 minutes to drive? Now, for me, it takes about 20 minutes to get to my post office because I live in the middle of nowhere in the country. But I know that's not the same for everyone. And for me, that would be worth me going to the post office and saying,
hey, it's worth any amount of time.
Can you imagine if someone did that, was able to switch the post office box on us and have all these comics switched to somewhere else and then get a W-2? That's it. Like it takes one W-2 for these fraudsters to cause a major amount of damage. I come from the banking industry. I have seen the most horrific stuff, just financial troubles caused by these types of situations. And it gets worse than this. So Jason, I'm super grateful that you were able to protect yourself. And thank you for jumping on to just let everybody know just some of these dangers, because we're all online. We're posting these videos. We're talking about, encouraging that kind of stuff. But also, let's be smart, protect yourself. Don't show papers with your address on screen. And the world will keep on spinning and everybody will be happy.
Well, and thank you, Tom, Ryan, for making the time, going through some technical difficulties to get me on, because it was, like I said, I thought it was about comics. It ended up being way bigger than that. And I just wanted to get the word out. Go to the post office, like you're saying, put that exception on, get a PO box if you can. And there's one other thing, UPS informed delivery is another huge one. It's free. And every morning you get an email that scans the actual mail, the actual envelopes that you'll be getting. And so you know what to expect. And so if you know what to expect, go to the mailbox. If it's not there, something's wrong. So just one more thing you can do. And next time, I know, Tom, we always talk about, we got to do more videos together, and we do. Let's talk about something fun next time.
I think, it's kind of a fun way to introduce you to the community, because it's letting people know that you care, for one, you want to help others and protect them, as well as shows a good part of like your business ethics for someone who deals with comic books and who lists and sells and is participating heavily on Instagram and on YouTube. I think this is a great way to introduce the audience to you, because we do have more stuff to talk about. I want to actually see a number of our members join your podcast. I think that there's a handful on our team that would have a fun hour conversation with you that I think the comic fan would really find interesting. You do a really good job getting people to open up and talk about some really interesting stuff. So I'm going to make sure post this video. It takes a little bit for it to actually get uploaded, that we have Jason's YouTube channel in the description link below. I'll make sure that his iTunes, and I believe you're on Android through Stitcher, is that correct?
Google Play.
Okay, so Google Play or through iTunes to catch his podcast, but he's also got stuff on YouTube as well. And I look forward to having you on very soon.
Thanks, fellas. You guys rock. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Thank you so much, Jason. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll chat soon.
All right. Sounds good, bros.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. All right. How do I boot Jason?
Get out of here.
I don't know.
Boot somebody. I got no.
You have to do you leave the call? Is that how that works? Jason? I don't know. What was that?
I love you. Love you.
All right. See you. Adios.
Bye.
Oh, he can do it. He can do it himself. That works. Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay. Get out of here. Okay.
I'm trying.
He's still here.
It won't go away.
He's like, oh, there goes his face. It's great. It's okay. We're gonna figure it out right now because I just want to end with one last thing here. So let's see. He's like, oh, you just turn it off.
I'm trying, man.
No. That wasn't to you, man. That was to me. We're switching.
This is funny.
It's good. I'm loving it. Jason, you're awesome, and we're gonna figure out how to.
I think he's gone.
Oh, I think he's gone.
I think he's gone.
Oh, that was fun.
Good.
All right, last minute. So basically what happened is there's multiple ways you can stream on YouTube, but each way you are prevented from doing certain things. So if we're going to bring the computer in, like we need visuals, we use one program. If we're going to use we're going to get more than one person on, we use another. If we want it to be just super quick, we use another. And yeah, it's a learning experience. I do apologize to Lords of the Long Box. There was a good amount of time that Jason spent on preparing that, and I wanted to respect that because he took time out of his day and his family time to come on the mic to speak to the community. And as always, I encourage our videos are up, especially when we have guests on and stuff. So never feel like you're going to miss out on something. We're going to make sure these get posted, and you can always come back to our videos and join the live streams that are on, because it's really cool to actually part of the participation in the community when it's live. And especially, on Lords of Long Box, and I do appreciate them for being patient with us. We're still trying to get this, the kinks. So it's easy.
Never finish.
Honestly, it's just there's so much to think about, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to do this. I forgot to do this. Anyways, enough of that. I have no way of showing the screen.
Now that we're not in the other thing.
Now around in the other thing. So I was gonna show merch. I was gonna show the shirts that we got that we're getting made. They're preliminary. They're just like the what would you call them, the prototypes? But
sure, yeah, that makes sense.
You saw them. What did you think?
I finally saw them. They were cool.
They're pretty decent. They're okay. We're working for a better one.
Terrible describer. The one of them is the logo, like the channel logo, big and blasted right on your chest.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little different. We're gonna make it smaller, but what we'll do is the next time we go live, which we're not gonna do it immediately after this. Can you imagine? Just like, all right, now we're gonna go live again. No, we're not gonna do it. Fourth time's the charm. No, next time we go live together, we're gonna make sure to show those off, because I'm gonna be going and seeing the production of them.
Excellent.
So if the comic fan wants to rep some merch, support the show, they'll be able to do that.
Go, to the factory and watch them sew the shirts.
Actually, what I can say, and this is actually going to be done, probably going to film with him. I think he's a really cool guy. He's a collector. I mean, what's really cool about this community? This isn't a factory. I thought, with getting merch done, it is. You either go through a big company, and basically any money that's supposed to be to help fund the creators and who are making the shirts and actually selling them. It's like, do you get a dollar for every sale, or do you get something that actually can affect the and actually cause change to the show? If we can sell a shirt for $30 on a website, literally it's how much they force you to charge to handle the production of a shirt.
It's too high. And
then you get $1 or $2 each of the sales. So most of the money goes to a company, and these things are getting made, not it's not helping small business. It's not doing anything. It's a lot of the money is just going straight to waste. And if that's the case, it means it's taken away from comics, and that's not going to happen. This doesn't make sense. So I looked for small businesses in the community, and we have people in the comic book collecting community who make a living off of t-shirt designs and t-shirt pressings and doing actually making shirts. And one of actually he does the t-shirts for a couple different comic book stores here. I said that weird. For a couple different comic book stores here in the area. It's After Hours. I'm gonna make sure I say this right on Instagram. It's After Hours Designs. I want to make sure I say that right. It is After Hours Graphics. Excuse me. After Hours Graphics. So we'll make sure it gets put up on the screen because we're going to be revealing all these and we'll be talking way more about him. But he is someone who works with his son. He's a diehard Star Wars collector and he makes shirts for the geek community. He does all of Russ's shirts for his store, all of his crew, makes all their shirts, all those Mill Geek shirts. And he's been actually making the Geek Responsibly shirt since we started the show, since before we could even afford to make enough shirts in different sizes that we could even offer something. So he has actually said that he's going to take on the production of the shirts so we can have more than just a couple designs, which is a huge, huge thing for us. So Rainbow's joining Ryan because he's excited to see the merch that we're going to have. And I'm excited that, we're going to get a Fire Guy shirt pretty soon. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. So just ways to support the show. And we're trying to make it as affordable as possible. I'm not going to be looking to
$45 shirt.
It's a $45 shirt. No.
Super
like
exclusive.
It's like we're going to do what we can to keep this in house. We're going to help out small business, someone in the IG community, in the geek community who's helping out small businesses out here, like specifically comic shops. We're going to be able to support him. He's going to support the community by making these shirts for us. And he's going to be doing it with his son, and they're going to be doing it, geeking out. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this relationship progresses, but it's looking cool. Stuff's looking good. And I'm excited to show the community, introduce them to the people who are like really helping make our content possible, because we are doing some big transitions here. This year we got a lot of stuff planned. We're almost in February.
Already got 1 month down.
1 month down.
That's weird.
It's happened quick, man. 1 month down means February is in a couple days, which means it's been about a year since we started the show.
Mm-hmm. That's still a mind F.
Isn't it? A little bit.
It was a quick year.
A little too quick. We gotta get some things. We gotta get our crap together, man. We got so much. We're still like halfway through Silver Surfer. We have so much to do. But you know what? I am having some of the best years of my life right now. So I'm excited to have the community here with us, and let's just keep on trucking.
Let's do that.
All right, Comic Fan, we do appreciate you as always.
What are we doing? We're geeking responsibly.
We did. You know what we didn't do?
We didn't do a whole bunch of stuff today.
There's a bunch of stuff we didn't do. We didn't do the giveaway. We didn't even announce the winner for the giveaway. We're gonna have to do a whole nother live show to catch up on giveaways. A whole nother live show to continue this conversation. But it's okay. It's how it goes sometimes. We had Jason on, and the first thing he said was, "I'm so sorry, but the audio plugin for Google Chrome wasn't working, so I had to switch to Firefox, and then Firefox wasn't working because I couldn't hear myself, and then I had to do it on my phone, and then then the heater turned on." And I just said, "Jason, that's our life. That literally is every day we record. It's like we make content about comics, but really we troubleshoot computers most of the time.
Most of the time.
And it gets better.
You say we, but I don't have anything.
I know.
That's all you.
Hey, you're helping too, man. You're helping. You're getting us through. You're keeping me calm.
Me and Rainbow are
helping me out. But you know what? It gets easier. We've had a lot more successes in getting things started on time.
We were on time.
And we are officially over time by 25
late.
minutes. If you would have told me that an hour ago, I would not believe that would be happening. But you know what? I'm going to put TiVo's link in the description. I'm going to say, hey, to the 50 plus people watching, do me a favor. I feel bad. Go and subscribe to TiVo if you haven't, and show him that we appreciate him, because we really do. I was watching TiVo before we made a YouTube channel, and he's an awesome guy. So maybe what we should do is next week we should just have him on. I'm tired of this. Let's have TiVo on.
We gotta get people on here now. We gotta figure out how it works first.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, and I'm thinking I'll reach out. I don't want to put him on the spot, live on the mic. Maybe you won't be able to do it next week, but maybe the week after, or the next couple of weeks, because we've gone over too many times. We need to just have a show where he gets to talk.
Why not?
Yeah, introduce him to any of the audience who doesn't know him. But for those of you who are watching, I want to make sure links are all in the description. Please go support the comic community. It's awesome here on YouTube. It's growing. It's growing, Ryan.
Growing so fast.
That's right. Have a good rest of your day, comic fan. We got a lot of content to make for you this week, as always.
Geek semi-responsibly.
Is there any way I can get you to say geek responsibly on the mic?
Geek responsibly, the correct way, into the microphone.